All right, Shalom. First, I'd like to start by saying all praise to Yahweh by Shem Shai, by Shema Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles everywhere, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. This is the demonic Ifa religion of Jay-Z and Beyonce, and this is on Facebook. So I'm going to press play on this video, and the spirit just hit me through the lesson about how Beyonce and them and certain people in the industry worship West African gods. You know, when they get their money, they decide to want to go back to Africa and learn the religions of their ancestors and whatnot. Some of it is I wouldn't say forced upon them, but the Lord give them over into that world. You know, these niggas bring the bitches to the religion, and the bitches bring the niggas to the religion, man. And they spreading this shit around, which is the reason why in the ancient world we got put into captivity. And same reason why we in captivity now today, man. And that's why the Lord on the way out of Egypt killed two niggas off. And that's why the Lord, throughout each empire, when he had the heathen take us down, killed two niggas off, man. History repeats itself. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. And I got a little bit more information to show y'all. And then ask some precepts.
You got Terrence Howard, who said that he invites spirits in him to play out different characters. Taraji P. Henson said it too. Woody McClain, I just did a story.
And that's the truth. All actors, from the greatest of them to the least of them, have to what they call get in character. And that character has it to where they invite demons and spirits in, and it's like a form of possession, and they end up acting that role, but them demons never leave them. And a lot of them go to the farthest extents to get them demons to inhabit their bodies, man.
Story on him. Dames and Idris said he was calling on the devil when he reached a roadblock in acting, for crying out loud. And then when the movie was over, he couldn't get it out. He couldn't get it out. He called his mom. He had nightmares. You think that these spirits are going to leave once the movie's done?
Mm-hmm.
Fools. But, people like Jay-Z and Beyonce and stuff like that, they come into a place where it's definitely witchcraft, right? Jay-Z said in his song Family Feud, I told my wife the spiritual stuff really works. And he also said in his song State of Empire that Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. So right there, those two lines, we understand that he's not talking about Christ when he's talking about the spiritual stuff. Beyonce herself, she has a whole Lemonade album. And if you watch different videos of it, she's in water. Then there's a part in the video where the door opens and water comes out. She's showing us that she's being born again into whatever she is, which we understand that she worshiped the deity Oshun, right? Which is a part of the Ifa religion,
Born again in these videos is symbolic for these well, it might. I have to look into it, but I know as far as the video he's speaking on, I got that video. But being born again is when the artist is dipped into a water, like Lil Wayne video, 6 foot, 7 foot, and he fell back into the tub and then re-rolls. You got a lot of actors, a lot of rappers who got scenes that look like that. That's what it means to be born again. It's like a baptism. But water baptism, according to the scriptures, has been done away with. The new baptism, according to the scriptures, is reading and understanding the word, the law, statutes, commandments, the truth, the judgments, the history, things of that nature. That's what the baptism really is. So they really going off. Anybody getting water baptized is going off. 1, 2, the baptism for the Illuminati and all that shit. We know that's going off as well. But yeah, so.
And their god is Aludamari.
Now, as far as her and the water coming out, the lady in the next video is going to explain that. And then when you look into the actual God, it's going to say that, basically.
Not only that, but they also have another deity named Ashu, which is the deity that connects them to the spiritual. Okay? We understand it says in the word of God that there's only one mediator from man and God, and that's Christ Jesus. But to them, it's Ashu that connects the man to God, the creator, which is Aludamari for them, right? She's a part of the Ifa religion. A lot of people in the music industry as a part of the Ifa religion. 21 Savage, you got Kaylani, you got Summer Walker, you got Beyonce.
I don't think I've ever heard of this. Is it something that like it's if you know kind of thing? I mean, it seems like almost like an industry kept secret, this religion.
It's like African ancestry type stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's very big within Hollywood though. As far as like African Americans are involved, it's coming out now, you know, because I'm talking about it a lot, you know, and different people are starting to talk about it a lot. You got people who are, you know, very dedicated. They do altars. You know, they set up altars where they give different deities food and fruit and say happy birthday to these deities. It's pretty big. I mean, different celebrities are starting to post more about it, but it's deception.
Yeah.
And it's in its highest degree. Beyonce used to be a Christian.
Yeah.
You know, but her drummer, Kimberly Thompson, filed a restraining order on her for extreme witchcraft. Her drummer of 5 years.
Yeah.
Just relax a little bit with me and you're going to get a chakra reading.
Yeah. All right, Shalakia. Here's the video explaining a little bit more what the guy was talking about. Damn.
They tell me Beyonce's a witch and that we should be scared. Yeah.
Her name is Tasha K. She has a YouTube channel and she interviews various people. She even interviewing this girl, which is a witch. Which, and if you know witchcraft, she partakes in some form, even to be in her presence like that.
Okay.
Yeah, she's an Ifa. So when she wears her yellow, that's oshun. So it's another kind of tradition.
Okay.
Like a lot of people would think but it's really Ifa. So it's it's like a lifestyle as a religion.
Right. And I watched this. Did I watch this one? I think I did watch this one. And she has another one. She is damn, I don't think she's from America. She's one of them Afro Latinas or something like that. Or was born over there. I kind of forgot. But here's the video. Like with Yaya, this is another woman that has um videos about witchcraft. She goes in detail about witchcraft because she does it. But this is the video exclusive interview with celebrity witch and root doctor Satin, look like or Satan. It says, says. But yeah, look, this is I know I watched this for sure. Look how she dressed. Celebrity witch Satin or Satan. Um, reveals sex magic spirit mounting church witches and government spells. Right, and she know that the government is in tune with the witchcraft. She went into that in this video. So yeah, what? Okay, so I gave her name out. But yeah, it's good to know this witchcraft is the left hand power that the Illuminati uses against Israel. As well as Israel using it against Israel, and that's why the world is all fucked up. The scriptures say that the world was given into the hand of the wicked, so the people gonna partake and be wicked, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna press play on this video.
Compared to the goddess Aphrodite in Greek mythology, and in many cultures, you could say some part of Oshun showing up. This love goddess is in practically almost every walk of life. And so there's a texture of that carries that Oshun energy. Yellow, gold.
See, the water, it's just a representation of Oshun. And that's why I said, I don't know, I haven't heard of that, that the water means the baptism, like how he said, but when you read the Oshun is a prominent Orisha deity in the Yoruba religion, which comes from West Africa, revered as the goddess of love, fertility, beauty, sensuality, and fresh water. So that's why she came out with that water. But when you look up this word sensuality, the enjoyment, expression, or pursuit of physical, especially sexual pleasure, the condition of being pleasing or fulfilling to the senses. Right, and sex driven. They sex driven. The clothes they wear, everything's all fucking sexual with them. On top of the sex magic and everything that goes on in the industry and the bitches being passed around. The picture with P Diddy showed that. You know,
Orange are some of her main colors. Some of the offerings for Oshun are oranges, honey, gold, sunflowers, cinnamon, mirrors, bells, brass, all of
remember they did this with Bella and the Dragon.
these nice things. Her feast day is the 8th of September.
I am the Nala, sister Naruba, Oshun Queen Sheba. I am the mother. Uncle Mionga.
Hold on, bear with me. For the lack of time, I'm just going to add some of these precepts. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord Yahweh thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, because there's reincarnation. You come back as your forefathers or foremothers, and you have to pay for your sins. Iniquity is sin upon sin. Um, Upon the children of the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Right. Y'all shooting yourself to hate the Lord is going to punish y'all for that. That's why y'all acting out what y'all forefathers did. The whole go back to what your forefathers did. You motherfuckers are y'all forefathers reenacting the same BS. That's why y'all going down this side. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. That's the elect. The chosen going to be shown mercy. Those who come back to the Lord is going to be shown mercy. What's that precept? See if I can get to the point in this next precept. I'm gonna be jumping through this because I don't want to read the whole thing. I might be able to read the whole thing. Yeah, I'm gonna read the whole thing, but I'm gonna read it at the end.
Long time on gold chains with my oshun energy. I am the Nala, sister Naruba, Oshun Queen Sheba. I am the mother. Uncle, my ancestor put me on game. Long time on gold chains with my oshun energy.
Because things have become popular, in pop culture, in music, some of your favorite artists are singing about it. And then you're like, I'm going to go back to the gods of my ancestors. But did our ancestors worship things outside of Christianity? Yes. But were they also devil worshippers? Yes. People talk about African spirituality and all this stuff. If you want to go there, then go all the way. Don't pick and choose. Because she was in Nigeria. She was with the Efik tribe in Calabar. This was like during the late 1800s. And this was a time that the culture believed that it was right to kill twins. Literally, they saw twins as evil. And when a woman would give birth to twins, they would take the children and put them in what was known as an evil forest. And they would allow the children to starve to death or to be eaten by wild animals. This was the culture of our ancestors. So if we want to talk about culture, go all the way.
Yeah, and I heard of that. I actually heard of that.
That it was right.
And how about this? I'll be able to put up a video on that. But let's go back to this demon. All right, it says Oshun is a prominent Orisha deity in the Yoruba religion, revered as the goddess of love, fertility, beauty, sensuality, and fresh water. She is known for her nurturing and life-giving powers, but also for her formidable strength when angered, capable of causing floods or drought. Worshipped across the Americas, she is associated with symbols like yellow gold, honey mirrors, and fans, and is often sought for blessings of prosperity. That's why they worship them demons. The demons actually be giving them prosperity because they be doing the sacrifices and the rituals, healing and protection. So, I'm going to start with, let me see. This is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? Right, so man's goings is of Yahweh Shai. It says Yahweh, but Yahweh put Yahweh Shai in charge. So Yahweh Shai is acting upon what Yahweh wants. Mhm. So man and women's goings, they follow these demons and these idols because that's the way the Lord wanted them to go. That's why you can't sit and just be angry and want to do something when the Lord is telling us, the scriptures even say he put good against evil, and so it's these people he want good. We got the script now. These people he want good, these people he want bad. It's meant for us to have this understanding so that we don't snap out, bug out, etc. So that we will have a sound mind in the faith, and be able to focus and endure the things to come and focus on the word without always being angry. Jake get angry and they be wanting to do something to the point that they just consume with that anger and they go do something. This is Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart or a man's mind. The word heart in Hebrew is lab, which means mind, deviseth his way, but the Lord directed his steps. Right, the Lord directed his steps. So, like dude said, Jay-Z went and found out, and he brought it to his woman. These women be resistant, just like these men. They be resisting that shit, but they don't be having no real power. They don't be having the world to back them because all this stuff involves witchcraft. You know, they got the power to take over people's bodies, and possess them and things like that. And it's up from there. They get introduced to these things by other people in the industry as well. The whole I Show Speed situation, how I was able to make a video on that. It looked like they coached him to go to that girl. That's why these dumbass little boys and these stupid ass YouTube videos are becoming famous the way they are because they worshiping these idols and these demons. Because they being coerced to go do so, or they being born into the families that worship these idols and these demons, and they being set up to do these things, man. That's part of the depths of Satan and his tricks and things. Uh, Now back to this right here where it says, beauty, sensuality, and fresh water, goddess of love. Love is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. She is known for her nature and life-giving powers. The Lord gives life. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. The dust represents the body. It's made from the elements of the ground. That's where we come from. And the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it, right? Not to no funky ass oshun, man. It's 1930, yeah. But also her formidable strength and anger capable of causing floods. The Lord causing floods. Which one did I want to get at? It's gonna go into it. Hold on, where'd it go? Right there. Okay, I see it. Let me get this flood situation. Just to attack who really giving out the power. And then I'm gonna have to go into this demon and see when she came about. Because you know the cracker, the Edomite, the devil always got a year. Oh yeah, this demon was introduced not before time in the 1700s. Stupid. This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest." Them storms and tempests create them floods. And the flame of devouring fire. The Lord controls all of that stuff, man. I wanted to get this part though. This is what I really wanted. Uh, Capable of causing floods or drought. The Lord controls the drought, which means you have no rain, the rivers are dried up, and your crops uh, fail to produce, which brings in famines. So this drought, this is going to be a drought come to this place behind all this idol worship. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 38. It says, I'm sorry, verse 35. Um, Jeremiah 50 and 35. A sword is upon the Chaldeans. A sword is a nuclear missile, said the Lord Yahweh, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon. Right, the inhabitants of Babylon, those that's going to be left here, are going to be hit with thermonuclear missiles. You sellouts of our nation, the Lord going to let a lot of y'all survive just for the missiles, for destroying his people. And destroying them mean that you destroy them morally, spiritually, with all this death. Because it says, what it say? Life-giving power, she still don't give life, she gives death, man. This is death unto the people. Scriptures say, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink. It says, upon our princes and upon our wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon the mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. And they shall become as women. These people are going to be turned into women in that day. Fearful, extremely fearful, in terror, weak, no man strengthen them. A sword is upon their treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is the drought is upon the waters. Once the nuclear missiles hit this place, it's going to dry up these rivers and these waters and these lakes, man. It says, and they shall be dried up. See, for it is the land of graven images. This graven image. This is a graven image. Idol worship. And they are mad upon their idols. Y'all are mad upon your idols. That's why y'all create all these videos and honor and worship unto them, man. Verse 39, it says, therefore the wild beast of the desert with the wild beast of the islands shall dwell there in America after it's destroyed. and the owl shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever. America is going to be an ensign or sign of what not to do, and it's never going to be inhabited by man again, neither or woman. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, fire and brimstone, and the neighboring cities thereof, said the Lord Yahweh. So shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Um, that's the Russians and the nations that side with Russia to come against the U.S. They shall hold the bow and the lance. That's the nuclear missiles. Remember, everybody boasting about their nuclear capabilities. They are cruel and will not shew mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Right. So America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles from all the nations that side with her. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and whoever is in charge in that day, whether it's Trump or someone else, and his hands waxed feeble, weak. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. He gonna turn into a bitch in that day. All that tough, if it's Trump, all that tough guy shit that he be talking, how he be boldly, bluntly disrespecting people. When the missiles get shot off, he gonna be in so much terror and so much fear as a woman, But the elect gonna be scarcely saved. There's gonna be fear in us, but we're gonna be more so rejoicing, and we're gonna be delivered from this place, you know. But it's another precept that I wanted to have. Oh, I wanted to read Bell and the Dragon, but let me read a little bit more into this. But my computer died. I might not be able to finish it off. It says attributes and domain. Love and beauty. Oshun embodies feminine grace, allure, and passion. Nothing feminine about Beyonce. They act feminine. They not. She is linked to sensuality, beauty, and the arts. Fertility and life. She is considered the mother of sweet things and is a source of life and prosperity. Her worshippers often seek her blessings for fertility and for having children. Um, the Illuminati. Um, did today worship Zeus, whose name was changed to Pluto. They get their money from that god, roughly paraphrasing. It says water. She is primarily known as the river Orisha and is associated with freshwater rivers and waterfalls. She is seen as a life-giving force, but can be destructive when disrespected. The woman being over the man again. And water does give life. Um, we come from the waters. Um, It says wealth, Oshun, is linked to material wealth, luxury, and financial success, mythology, and significance. Creation myth is one creation myth. In one creation myth, Oshun was the only female of the original 16 Orishas sent to Earth. When the male Orishas failed to create life, then woman over the man again, they had to persuade her to help, and her powerful life-giving waters completed the task. Human emotions. She is believed to maintain spiritual balance and can be a source of great power and resilience, but also has human attributes like vanity and jealousy. Connection to humanity. She is often depicted as a protector, savior, and nurturer of humanity. African diaspora. The worship of Oshun was carried to the Americas during the slave trade and continues today in traditions like Santeria, Candomblé, and I just brought this out yesterday in the lesson, and Vodou of uh, Vodou, I think that's how you say it. I'll figure it out later. She is recognized across the globe with various names and is an important figure for many women of African descent. Yeah, that's why Jacob be getting fucked up. It says worship and symbols. Symbols. Her symbols include yellow and gold mirrors, fans, honey, amber, and shells from the river. Worship shells. It says shells from the river, and I just seen a picture yesterday, and I think I hit it on my lesson when I was breaking down this image that they had of the so-called five-pointed star, which is a what pentagram, and it had a circle around it, but inside the star, the pentagram was shells around the pentagram. Let me make sure it's called a pentagram because I think I'm saying it wrong. But inside the star, it was shells. Outside the star, it was shells. Outside of them shells, it was a circle, but it was shells on top of the circle. So that's who they had symbolized, and I didn't know exactly what that part meant. I broke everything else down, and they had an eye inside the star, which was a black rock. But this is what them shells represented in that image. Uh, yeah, a pentagram. Pentagram is a five-pointed star. Stars are circled; they're not five-pointed. Used as a symbol in geometry, religion, and pop culture, and can also refer to a design firm or an American doom metal band. Right? It's demonic. It says worship. Her followers often wear yellow and gold, and her altars may include river pebbles and copper bracelets. Dance and it dance and dance like a dance is a common form of worship to bring it to worship to summon the demons. And she is honored with rituals, sacrifices, and prayers for wealth and health. Festivals. The Oshun Asagbo Festival is a major event for her worship in Nigeria, and that's why Beyonce stood up for them. Well, she got put up to stand up for them. One, two, she probably do partake in that same worship, and that's one of the reasons why they would have her say something, because that Christian, what they call Christianity over there, is mixed with this demonic religion. Bear with me, I gotta get my charger. All right, so I'm gonna end it off with this story. This is Bell and the Dragon. These stories are imperative. It's imperative that you read these stories and understand and study these stories, because this is one, your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the sight of the nations. Two, this is what's going to keep you from being tricked by the devil and falling into the snares of these demons and spirits that these guys and these bitches are summoning to possess you. In these stories. This is the righteous spirit versus the wicked spirit. Remember, the Lord created the wicked spirit to give to people that he didn't want and the heathen. The righteous spirit was for his people. Starting with his elect. It's always been an elect throughout history. And this was our only counter for these things, and not to be deceived by these things. That's why you're studying, because Jacob don't be studying, reading, and the Lord not dealing with them. So this is your protection. So when it comes up, uh, in life, or like since everybody started to go into the Illuminati and the idol worship and things like that, you will have a protection from the demons that come off of these pages and off of these books, and uh, 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 you'll have you'll just have protection from those things, and you'll be able to identify it when they come out and be like, "Yep, the Lord spoke on this. This was what's going on in the ancient world." And there is going to be a judgment behind this, man. It's always been a judgment. This is Bell and the Dragon. It's only one chapter, verse 1. The king Astyages was gathered to his father, and Cyrus of Persia received his kingdom. And Daniel conversed with the king and was honored above all his friends. Now the Babylons had an idol called Baal, and there were spent upon him every day 12 great measures of fine flour, and 40 sheep, and 6 vessels of wine. See how they be giving these offerings to these demons? Same thing. Um, and the king worshipped it and went daily to adore it. But Daniel worshipped his own God, Yahweh. And the king said unto him, Why doest not thou worship Baal? Who answered and said, Because I may not worship idols made with hands. That's what Beyonce and them do. Idols made with hands. But they know the spiritual left hand side of it. A lot of jakes don't have that access to them left hand side spirits. But the living God, who created the heaven and the earth and had sovereignty over all flesh, these demons are under the Lord and being used on the left hand side, man. It says, Then said the king unto him, Thinkest thou not that Baal is a living God? Seest thou not how much he eateth and drinketh every day? And Daniel smiled and said, O king, be not deceived, for this is but clay within and brass without, and did never eat or drink anything. So the king was wroth and called for his priests, and said unto them, If ye tell me not who this is that devoureth these expenses, ye shall die. But if ye can certify me that Baal devoureth them, then Daniel shall die, for he hath spoken blasphemy against Baal. And Daniel said unto the king, Let it be according to thy word. It says, Now the priests of Baal were 70, to 70, beside their wives and children. And the king went with Daniel into the temple of Baal. So Baal's priest said, Lo, we go out. But thou, O king, set on the meat, and make ready the wine, and shut the door fast, and seal it with thine own signet. And tomorrow, when thou comest in, if thou findest not that Baal hath eaten up all, we will suffer death, or else Daniel that speaketh falsely against us. It says, And they little regarded it, for under the table they had made a private entrance, whereby they enter in continually and consume those things. It says, So when they were gone forth, the king set meats before Baal. Now Daniel had commanded his servants to bring ashes, and those they strewed throughout all the temple in the presence of the king alone. Then went they out and shut the door and sealed it with the king's signet, and so departed. So them priests was eating that food, and it was eventually going to be recognized that Baal was just an idol, But you see how the Lord had Daniel set them up. It says, Now in the night came the priests with their wives and children, as they were wont to do, and did eat and drink up all. Right? And this for you people. These idols, these gods that y'all worship, these idols, these altars that y'all build and got these little bitty ass. And you see them in a lot of movies. The last movie I seen was Gladiator. When a black man looked like he was from Africa. Forgot the actor name, but he had them two wait a minute. Did he have was it him? I think he did it in that movie, but I know the guy that played Gladiator, he had his wife and his child. If I'm not mistaken, it was his wife and his child. It was a movie that I seen that they worship. They had that built them little altar and they had their little idols and things up there, man. So they be promoting this shit in the movies and things like that. Take them just don't be understanding. And then the ones that do witchcraft and shit be understanding with that stuff be mean. And that's pushing wickedness and philosophy upon the people to not edify and explain what that means. All right, it says verse 17, the king said, Daniel, are the seals whole? And he said, Yes, O king, they be whole. And as soon as he had opened the door, the king looked upon the table and cried with a loud voice, Great art thou, O Baal, and with thee it is no deceit at all. Then laughed Daniel and hailed the king that he should not go in, and said, Behold, now the pavement, and marked well whose footsteps are these. And the king said, I see the footsteps of men, women, and children. And then the king was angry, and took the priests and their wives and children, and shewed him the private doors, where they came in and consumed such things as were upon the table. Therefore the king slew them. and delivered Baal into Daniel's power, who destroyed him and his temple. And in the same place there was a great dragon which they of Babylon worshipped. And the king said to Daniel, Wilt thou also say that this is of brass? Lo, he liveth and eateth another idol, and drinketh. Thou canst not say that he is no living God, therefore worship him. And it's the same thing that's going on with the kings of this world, the presidents, and even all the elites, man. They doing the same type of idol worship. And you see the prophets are back explaining and exposing that their idols are their gods are just idols. Or the demons that come through their gods are of lower rank. The Israelites, like I said in my last video, and I got it from the scriptures. The rank, the order. Yahweh, whom the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai, whom is the Son of God, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yashra Allah, the Prince of the Power, the Israelites. Man, woman, boy, girl, child, etc. We are next on that line. Then come the angels. Them spirits are the angels on the left hand side. Then come the heathen. You know, the heathen are the whites, them Africans, them Chinese, Moabites. So the same thing. Japanese, Hawaiians. Those are all heathen nations. Assyrians, uh, etc. Man. It says, verse 25. Then said Daniel unto the king, I will worship the Lord my God, for he is the living God. But give me leave, O king, and I shall slay this dragon without sword and or staff. The king said, I give thee leave. Then Daniel took pitch and fat and hair and did seethe them together and made lumps thereof. This he put in the dragon's mouth, uh, and so the dragon burst in asunder. And Daniel said, Lo, these are the gods ye worship. Right. So he basically made a bomb. When they of Babylon heard that, they took great indignation and conspired against the king, saying, The king is become a Jew, and he had destroyed Baal. And it says he had slain the dragon and put the priest to death. And that's how the people feel now today about us. So they came to the king and said, Deliver us, Daniel, or else we will destroy thee and thine house. It says, Now when the king saw that they pressed him sore, being constrained, he delivered Daniel unto them, who cast him into the lion's den, where he was 6 days. And that's what we got a test coming too, man, when they implement the RFID microchip, the MOTB, as well as other tests. But the ultimate test is when they're gonna implement the MOTB, once the persecution of starts, because of our beliefs, you know. Verse 32. It says, And in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep, which then were not given to them to the intent they might devour Daniel. Now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl, and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. It says, But the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, Go, carry the dinner that thou hast in Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which God hath sent thee. Right, and that's how we're gonna be protected. The Lord gonna have it to where we somehow eat. Whether a prophet bring it to you, the guard bring it to you, whatever's going on in that day, when you're in the bush and things, just showing you that the Lord was with Daniel throughout his trial. It says, and Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O God, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately. Upon the seventh day the king went to bewail Daniel, and when he came to the den, he looked in and beheld Daniel was sitting. Then cried the king with a loud voice, saying, Great art, Lord God of Daniel, and there is none other beside thee. And he drew him out and cast those that were the cause of his destruction into the den, and they were devoured in a moment before his face. Right. So, the Lord protected Daniel through his ordeal, proving that the idols of the heathen were nothing but to be idols. And the same thing we're doing out today, and the Lord's protecting us, and it's going to protect us when all hell breaks loose, man. Brothers get put in concentration camps and things like that. Some brothers are going to be put to death, man. But that's going to be the will of the Lord. Because remember, how Shai and the prophets were put to death in the ancient world, man. So, yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it. Call all Yahweh by Hashem Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity.